Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. FCSB 0, West Ham United 3. Fantastic night for the club. Some really good football on display, some really promising performances as well. But the first team ever in this competition to win 6 games out of 6 in the group stages. And while it's only the second year in, blah, 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 it's still a good achievement for the club as well. We're now in history books of the competition. Pub quiz question in 15 years' time. Which English side were the first side to ever win 6 games out of 6 in the group stage of the Europa Conference League? West Ham United is the answer. Anyway, we went into this one. It was a dead rubber. They were guaranteed to finish bottom. We were guaranteed to finish top. A hugely rotated side by David Moyes, understandably, with Ollie Scarles and Mubama starting for the Hammers too. And I have to say, I enjoyed that game. I really enjoyed it. It's nice to be able to enjoy it without any pressures because there's nothing up for grabs or a few $100,000 up for grabs. But in terms of points tally, what does it actually mean? Nothing. It meant nothing. And I thought the football was quite good, actually. We made it 1-0, and what a goal it was! Pablo Fornals. Ben Johnson with a lovely, I say lovely, a fantastic ball over the top of FCSB defence. Put Pablo Fornals. Is through and goal fair? I mean, it kind of is, but it's a very, very difficult chance. Listen, he's offside, okay? And if there was VAR in this competition, that goal would get ruled out. But I don't care. I'm not taking that. Fornals doesn't know that. It doesn't mean Fornals scores only because there's no VAR. That just stops the goal getting ruled out. That's all it does. But there's Pablo Fornals running in towards the 18-yarder. The ball come down. And a defender that must be at least a foot taller than him chasing him. I mean, when they came together, those two, the size difference was enormous between the two of them. But in fairness to Fornals, he's checking both shoulders. He's checking how much space and time he's got. The answer was not very much. And he has to hit it. He has to hit it when he does. But left foot volley into the far corner. It's an absolutely outstanding finish by Pablo Fornals, actually. And you can see how happy he was and stuff. But at halftime, we were leading 1-0. And I was just really, like I said, I was just really enjoying the game. Mubama was unfortunate not to score. Lovely ball. I say lovely. Brilliant ball in from Ollie Scarles on the left-hand side. Mubama gets to it. Decent enough saved by the keeper. I don't think he knows much about it. I think the ball sort of hits him rather than he saves it. Should he be doing better? Possibly, but he's in the right place at the right time, Mubama. And then Flynn Downs nearly scores. A great ball in from Pablo Fornals. Downs, it happened. Downs does what he wants to do, which is flick it into that far corner. But that is a really good save by the goalkeeper. While the first one, Mubama, was a little bit fortunate maybe in the keeper's behalf, the second one was just a terrific save from him. But half-time, I genuinely really enjoying watching us play. I thought we were pressing high up the pitch. I thought we were moving the ball back well. Was it a glorified friendly? Yes, it was. But it was always going to be that because of the circumstances of the game. Nothing to play for. And it was by far our easiest fixture of the campaign. But I still enjoyed it. Anyway, the second half, we thought Mubama had scored his first ever goal for West Ham. Lovely ball in from Sufal. Finds Mubama at the back post. It initially looks like a fantastic header. Comes off the defender and goes in. And upon replays, it does look like it's going wide. And it's been given as an own goal. And I can see why. I can understand why. However, I don't care. 2-0 West Ham. Mubama's a goal scorer. Yes, I know. Officially own goal. But this isn't UEFA's channel. This is a West Ham fans channel. We're going to West Ham-fy it up by declaring it a Mubama goal. I say brilliant header. It was a strong header and he deserved it. I think he deserves the goal. And you can see how much it means to him. You can see how much it means to all the other players as well that he's got the goal. And it's a fantastic occasion. And officially not his goal, but I don't think it's going to stop him from believing it's his goal. I mean, it shouldn't do either. Just a terrific occasion. And this is where we benefit from winning our first 5 games of the group stage because we'll never get to do that again tonight. Maybe against Blackburn next week, one or two of the youngsters might be in the squad. One might start the game, although I'm going to say it's unlikely. If that was Blackburn we played tonight, it would have been a stronger 11. Scarles and Mubama probably wouldn't start the game. We might not see them again this season. But that's why this is important, that we were in the position that we could see them tonight. Moyes has played them both in a really strong team, considering the situation. And Mubama's taken his chance. I thought Mubama had a really, really good game. Put himself about really well. I thought his positioning was really good. Really energetic, athletic. I thought his pressing was fantastic. Mubama's really does close down the defence and the goalkeeper really well. And it's not headless chicken pressing either. Quite often, when he was pushing the defence back or he was chasing down the ball, he was checking over his shoulders to make sure he had backup from his teammates. You could see him telling, whether it be Fornals or Down, saying, you get that defender, I'm going to him, you get that defender. He was leading, and I emphasised leading the press from the front, Mubama. I was really, really impressed. And we saw this in pre-season. We saw these performances from him in the summer, but it was only friendlies. He's now done it in, I guess, a glorified friendly. But it was just really pleasing to see, really encouraging. And if I ever see him on the bench again, I'll get a bit hopeful, actually. I thought it was a real good performance from Mubama tonight. We made it 3-0, not too long after Pablo Fornals getting his second of the night. A good night for Pablo Fornals, and this is what we needed. You know, at the start, when we did the video on the build-up show, sort of, if you could have a couple of wishes for tonight's game, what would it be? My number one was Fornals to get on the score sheet, because he's going to be, at worst, on the bench on Sunday against Crystal Palace. He'll probably be one of David Moyes' first called upon substitutions in that match. Need to hold on to a lead, get Fornals on. Need to score a goal, get Fornals on. So I think it was important that we got Fornals' confidence up and running. And the only way to do that is by getting him on the score sheet. He did it in fantastic style tonight. But not only that, you know, that cross for Flynn Downs was perfection as well. He soon got withdrawn from play along with Vladimir Sufal and Flynn Downs, as David Moyes started to protect the players that might be needed on Sunday. Really good performance from Pablo Fornals. And it went on to finish 3-0 West Ham, with more youngsters taken to the field as the game went on. But I think most players tonight played, at worst, okay, and that's all they could play. It's a difficult game for some players. You know, Areola literally cannot impress. He just can't. Areola cannot impress tonight because of who we're playing. So it's difficult for some players to really stand out. But when we play games like this, I'm always looking for one or two sort of the more senior players to look like the senior players, and I thought one or two did. Worst performer tonight played okay. There was no poor performers for West Ham tonight. There was a few that played well, and then there was a couple that played really well. I thought we'll get on to them, but I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it tonight. I thought some of the football was really good. It was really entertaining. I thought the boys worked hard. The youngsters were a success, and it was nice to take the pressure off and just to be able to relax a little bit, enjoy it for what it is. Does this mean we're going to go beat Crystal Palace? Of course it doesn't. In terms of moving forward from tonight, there's a few things we can take, but there's not much. I know this will sound really negative, but I'm trying to be realistic here. There's not much we can take from tonight only going forward. There's a handful of things, because the circumstances were it was a dead rubber. And let's be perfectly frank about this, FCSB were god-awful. They were really, really poor. That was an easy game for us tonight. But it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. It doesn't mean it's not important. And this is, like I said, this is the reward for winning 5 out of 5 prior tonight. We've won tonight's game comfortably in the end. We can only beat what's in front of us. It's a fantastic achievement by us to win 6 out of 6. First, like I said, first team to ever do it in this competition. I'm looking forward to the last 16 in March. Yes, there's a couple of big teams dropping down. They've obviously got to play someone that's finished second in one of the groups as well. But I'm not fazed by it. Do you know something? Bring it on. I don't care who we get in the last 16. Bring it on. I'm not bothered whatsoever. I'm really not. I still think we're going to go on win this competition. I thought it before a ball was even kicked in the tournament, before we'd even qualified for the tournament, because we still had the playoffs to do. But every game I see, I'm just as confident. Has tonight made me more confident? No, it hasn't. Because, like I said, there's not that much we can take from it, because it's of the circumstances, but we navigated it really, really well. I'm really happy with it. Now, individual performers. Like I said, I thought Mubama had a really good game. I thought Fornals played well, took his goals really well too. But there's two players in particular that stood out for me, and the first one's Flynn Downs. Second half, I think he was okay in the second half, Downs, but that was it. Didn't impact the game as much in the second half. Then was withdrawn by Moyes. But in the first half, I thought Flynn Downs was really, really good, like fantastic good. Like I said a few minutes ago, I tend to look for senior players stepping up in games like this. Grab the game by the scruff of the neck, make it your game. And I thought Flynn Downs did that in the first half, actually. Defensively, a couple of times he had to get back and help out, and looked quite quick, actually. There was one occasion he was quite far behind the FCSB player when he started chasing after him, and he caught up really well and put in a tackle without having to go to ground. One possession, we took the ball away. But in the first half, I thought he was brilliant. Unlucky not to score, got forward really well. And I thought it was almost like a senior. Does this make sense? I thought it was a senior performance from Flynn Downs tonight. For somebody that's just come into the team, and he has literally just come in, so much so, he's probably not going to be in the starting 11 on Sunday. I think the fact that Flynn Downs not only travelled to Romania, but played tonight, while Souček and Rice remained at home and Paqueta's back in training, I think that's a strong indication that Downs will be on the bench against Crystal Palace on Sunday. But tonight, like I said, he's only just got into the team, Flynn, but I thought tonight was brilliant. Man of the match, Scarles. Wow. Listen, I'm going to put a lid on my own excitement here, okay? I'm going to start with the negativity because it's realism, I guess, which is I might not see him again in West Ham shirt this season. I might not. I hope I do. I hope he's on the bench at least for the Blackburn game. Next Wednesday, we play Blackburn League Cup. I hope he's at least on the bench as a reward for tonight's performance. But it's likely that we won't see him again in the senior team this season. And that's okay. He's 16 years old. We don't need to rush his development. But he was the only player that David Moyes took out to, I think it was Anderlecht a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in the European game. He took one youngster out with him to Anderlecht, and it was Scarles. That's an indication. That is a move of intent, if you like, from the manager, which is this is the guy I think is going to make it at West Ham. So the expectation goes up a little bit within the fan base. All right, now, come on then, let's see what we've got. Harrison Ashby used to be that player. We used to expect Harrison Ashby to make it at West Ham because that was the youngster David Moyes preferred. So when the manager's including that youngster ahead of others, you start to expect that youngster to make it at your football club. And I think that's fair. I do. I think that's a fair thing to do. Why wouldn't you? The manager is the one that speaks to all the coaches that under 21s. I imagine it attends most of the games, or certainly has somebody attending most of the games. In fact, I know that. I spoke to Dimitri. Who used to be the under-23s manager, and he spoke about how sometimes Moyes would attend, but if Moyes didn't, somebody else would be there. Kevin Nolan would attend. Moyes would always have somebody at the under-23s game. So I see no reason for it to change now. So for that reason, for then a youngster to then be in the squad suggests that Moyes has decided this one's the one that's most likely to make it. So when Scarles starts tonight, Mubama has to start, kind of. Antonio Scamacca's left behind. He's the only forward. Scarles didn't have to start. Moyes had other options tonight, but he started Scarles. And I thought he was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I know people say, but it's only FCSB. I've already done the negative side of it, right? But judging what I've seen for that 90 minutes, I thought he was just wonderful. I thought he got better and better as the game went on. For the first 20 minutes, didn't put a foot wrong, looked quite composed, quite comfortable, but nothing too fancy. He was just playing a safe game to some extent. He was getting involved when he had to. He wasn't standing out for good or bad reasons. But then that ball into Mubama, whack! It was just it was on a plate for Mubama. And like I said, I think Mubama's just unlucky. But Scarles couldn't have done anything better than that. Right in between the keeper and the 6-yard line. It's a horrible place for a keeper and a defender. No centre-back wants to be facing their own goal, having to deal with a cross like that. The ball was just delicious. And I just felt like every 10 minutes, every 50 minutes, he just got better and better. And in the second half, I thought he really started to just step up to almost another level to some extent. Every time he got the ball, I was sat there thinking, cross it, just cross it. Because every time he crossed it, it was just brilliant. It's cross after cross after cross. All his Scarles was just putting them in on the money every single time. And it was just wonderful to watch this young lad embracing it, stepping up to the challenge. 16 years old, and he's playing alongside Manuel Lanzini, who is expected to be on the provisional squad list for Argentina's World Cup squad. You know, that's who he's playing next to. Aguero behind him, 25 million. Next to him, Ogbonna, as experienced as you can get. Somebody that's been doing it in the Champions League. That's the players around him. And there he is, he did not look bothered at all. He looked comfortable playing tonight. It was a thoroughly enjoyable performance to witness from him, actually. A couple of times, defensively, I thought he got caught out. I thought he was a little bit... There was a couple of 1-2s his man did around him, and I thought he got away a little bit easier. However, both occasions, he got back in and he made the tackle. But I'm okay with that. I'm not bothered. I'm really not arsed about it. It's one of them things. You'll learn that role. You know, he's been playing defensive midfield for the under-21s. I'm really not bothered about him not quite being perfect at a left wing back role. Either's Emerson, and he's been doing it all his career. Flipping out Masuaku. Do you know what I mean? But tonight, I'll give all his Scarles man of match for West Ham. I thought he was just absolutely brilliant tonight. Really, just lots of positivity, lots and lots of positivity. Really pleasing. But well done, David Moyes. Well done, Moyesy. You know, he's the one that's navigated this group. Premier League. For the sake of this, I'm separating Conference League and Premier League, because he's navigated this group stage perfectly. Not once have we fielded our first 11. Not once. He's always rotated it. Won 6 out of 6. Tonight's been a brilliant occasion for the football club. We've made history. Whether you poo-poo or not, it's up to you. I've always liked this competition. I'm not going to stop liking it now because we're doing well in it. But not only that, he's used this competition the way it should have been used, in my opinion, which is Ogbonna, vital minutes for his rehab. Aguero picking up minutes now. Is he ready for Palace? Possibly not, but he might be ready for Leicester. Would he have been ready for these Premier League games without this competition? I don't think so. Flynn Downs has used this, been given an opportunity in this competition and got himself into our first 11. So Downs has used it. Scamacca was using it at the very start of the campaign. Get on the score sheet, get used to West Ham to overtake Michail Antonio in the pecking order. Moyes has used this competition perfectly from the first minute to the last, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, league form, a different discussion. It's not going as well as I would like. But this competition, I think Moyes has nailed it so far. And this is why, you know, I did the video, I don't know, 3 weeks ago now. One of the reasons why I'm not Moyes out is because I think Moyes will do everything he can to win this competition. I hope he does. I think he will. I don't know. I've still got this feeling that we can go on and win it, and regardless of who's dropping down, we can win it. We'll need a little bit of luck. Every team needs a bit of luck, but if we can get that, we've got the squad. But tonight was a brilliant occasion for West Ham, and you know, I keep talking about what Moyes has used this competition for. I just hope the last 2 games now, playing Fornals in the number 10 role, he's looked quite good in there. I hope that's something Moyes takes from it going forward. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this review, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat as well. And I'll catch you up tomorrow.